But I always had this thing of looking at the camera, you know, and they were like, don't look at the camera. Because it's porn, isn't it? They're getting an angle from it, so, yeah. Hello, my name is Chris, and I am from Coventry originally. I grew up in Coventry for the first 4 years, and then we emigrated over to Illinois. Chris Windsor was my porn name. I was taking the piss out of the royal family, the Windsors. And it was just my blue eyes. They were like, wow, striking. And at the time, I had my hair dyed blonde, so it was blonde hair, blue eyes, and, you know, quite well endowed for my size. And they were like, yeah, definitely. So, it was very good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did 4 films in 6 months. And it was, you know, it was enough. It was $600 a film. It was all paid by check. But I went and pissed up the wall and got high on it. You don't put stuff like that in a savings account, do you? Really? It's easy money. And it was. There's a mobile testing unit for prostitutes on Santa Monica Boulevard. And you put like a salt stick in the side of your mouth and it tests for the HIV antibodies. And basically I turned up positive, so they said you need to come back for bloods in about a week. And so I came back in a week, did the bloods, it came back positive. I said, what are the levels? They go, it's just starting out. It's just starting to damage your immune system. So they usually hold off until you get about 200 CD4s. CD4s are your immune system. It's your white blood cell. Think of a scale between 0 to 1,000. Under 200 is classed as sort of AIDS. You get AIDS-related illnesses such as PCP. Philadelphia outlined Kaposi sarcoma, KS, which is what was called the, you know, sort of the HIV-related skin cancer. My friend Joey, whose drag name is She'll Be Right Back, she'll be right back, and Crystal Light, which is a soft drink in America that you mix with sugar like Kool-Aid. They basically do drag in St. Louis. And I was always fascinated with it. The way that they did their hair, the wigs, and, you know, the great night out that they had. And I was like, I want to do that, but I want to do it my own way. So I created the name Victoria Weis. Weis is the name of my stepfather and my younger brother and my mother. And basically it's sort of like, you know, it's cool. And I wanted to do tributes to Amy Winehouse, so I piled the wigs up high and get the dress going, and away I go. And they're like, wow, you have star quality. You know, you do this right. And the way that I do it is sort of like, you know. I can't wait to show you guys some of it. Be nice. And then it was really meeting my dad for the first time. I was just so excited. But he, you know, he had his own life. So, you know, I stayed with him for a while in the little single bedroom that he had. But basically it was sort of like I was too old for him, you know. He had missed so many years. And then, of course, I was on the drugs again. And I still have a problem to this day, sort of like, you got to stay off the drugs, you got to stay off the drugs. But at the end of the day, if I do the drugs now, I'm going to die. It's going to kill me. I think the guy that I've always loved the most, basically, was Kenny. And Kenny was so bad for me. He was Geordie. And he lived in the Oval in South London and put me up and then got me on the housing list. So he really did sort me out. But we drank all the time, and that was the downfall of our relationship because we got drunk and we started fighting, and then I basically, you know, pissed off. So it's one of them. I had to leave the man I loved. And it was like, kills me. Kills me every day because I still, you know, I still think about him. Still think about him. He was attacked with a machete, and he told me about how you get DLA, the you know, the benefit that, you know, really, really looks after you. And they basically said for years and years and years, you're not sick enough, you're not sick enough. And it's like, well, how sick do you gotta be? you know. So I got it when I was on death's doorstep with pneumonia and all the rest of it. And the NHS has kept me alive for all these years. So I hope it doesn't get privatized. But if it does, you know, there'll be something for the poor. There has to be. You know, they're not going to let people just die in the street. Not like they do in America. You know? It's sort of like I want to get off of all this benefit stuff and get back into, you know, doing my own web design stuff. So definitely want to go to Germany. I could do with some bratwurst and sauerkraut. Love all that food. It's sort of sad that things didn't work out the way I thought they were going to work out. But it was, you know, it was the right thing to do at the right time. Because survival is paramount. So, yeah. I'm just excited to be able to do something like this. It's my first interview. So, yeah, kind of cool.